Hi there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. First of all, wish you all a very happy Navratri. We are going to discuss on something very, very important and very, very powerful. Well, these 9 days are filled with a lot of power, isn't it? Power. Martin Luther King says, power is an ability to achieve your purpose. When you hear this word power, what comes to your mind? What do you visualize? Well, the people who are into late 40s like me, during our childhood, we used to watch one very, very interesting and very powerful web series, TV serials, right? And that was He-Man. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Yes, and then he says, I have the power. By power, most of us mean muscle power, the physical power, the power to conquer something, isn't it? That's what, the power is. But no, an energy has different forms and expressions. It can be intellectual power, it can be economical power, it can be social networking power, it can be physical power, it can be emotional power, right? And as business management student and professional, this typical MBA stuff, we know there are different kinds of powers, isn't it? For example, legitimate power, legitimate power, power by positions, coercive power, power of charisma, charismatic power, power by position, and so on and so forth. There are different kinds of power, isn't it? Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, on this very auspicious occasion of 9 powerful days of Navratri, if I may pick up a book in our book reading series, and this will be our 64th book indeed, and the book is all about power, the power. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the book is Powerful. Powerful by Nirupama Subramaniam. Now let's understand, who is Nirupama Subramaniam. And Nirupama Subramaniam is the co-founder of GLOW, G-L-O-W, which stands for Growing Leadership of Women, an organization that enables gender equality and inclusion. She is an ICF trained professional certified coach, PCC, and leadership development facilitator. With over 25 years of experience, she has trained and coached over 20K people across 75 organizations. Nirupama is also the co-founder of My Daughter is Precious, a non-profit that provides funding and mentoring for young women to complete their undergraduate education. Nirupama is the author of best-selling novels like Keep the Change and Intermission. She has written for a variety of publications including the Times of India, Hindustan Times, and National Geographic Traveler, among others, and has won several awards for her writing. You can know more about her on on her website nirupamasubramaniam.com and also powerfullife.in. Nirupama completed her MBA from XLRI Jamshedpur, and she's also adjunct faculty with McKinsey, and she is involved in a lot of training and development when it comes to human behavior, and she is really amazing orator. She has very certainly touched upon different kinds of powers through different kinds of archetypes which exist in Indian society, in Indian context. And the content is basically my story of power, women and power, the 6 sources of power. We'll get into this 6 sources of power. That's basically the Kanya, the good girl, Apsara, the seductive beauty, Veera, the rebel warrior, Rani, the noble queen, Ma, the nurturing caregiver, Rishika, the wise seeker, and then the journey to becoming powerful and practices to invoke your power. The 6 sources of power. Who is Kanya? The Kanya is very good girl, typically a very good girl, the very nice girl next door, and she's very obedient, she's very sincere, and she's very innocent, and that's what Kanya is. And who is Apsara? The Apsara is basically when the girl gets into teenage or maybe adulthood, and she becomes very conscious about her body and her beauty basically, and she knows that this beauty is a kind of a power, right? And then Veera is basically the rebel warrior. She understands, she recognizes that fighting spirit lurking within her, and she can fight back, and she can overcome these difficult situations, not just the difficult people, but different situations in life. Yeah, so that is basically Veera. Rani is basically a settled down in life kind of queen. That's what the Rani is, the noble queen, and she knows how to strike the balance. She is more matured. And Ma, as we understand, she is known for her sacrificing abilities, being all inclusive, and she is nurturing caregiver kind of person. And Rishika is the wise seeker eventually looks into spiritual enlightenment and into holistic development. Yeah, that's what Rishika is. So especially all my women well-wishers, my inspirations, right from my family, my colleagues, my participants, yeah, my bosses, the lady bosses. I'm very lucky to work with the lady bosses. This book is really a reference guide for all of you and for we men also, basically, because all these qualities, right from Kanya to Rishika, they lurk in all of us in certain form, and how to invoke that interesting chapter is basically practices to invoke your power. So let's get into this chapter. So practices to invoke your power. And what I really liked about this is, when we talk about these 6 different kinds of powers, which Nirupama has mentioned very elaborately with great examples, she is talking about the body, the mind and the heart, all put together simultaneously, how we are going to utilize that and leverage that. For example, Kanya power. Now, practices to gain Kanya power. What are the body practices? What kind of bodies? For example, the Kanya walks like a young girl. Sometimes she seems gawky, sometimes she trips along lightly. Her pace is measured but not always consistent. What kind of yoga asanas? What kind of yoga asanas are suggested to invoke this kind of power, Kanya power? That's also, for example, the Kanya energy is about returning to innocence. In some ways, about starting from the beginning with openness and freshness. So it's about building flexibility and focusing more on our intuitive power, the Agya Chakra. So there are different kinds of the different kinds of yoga asanas which Nirupama is suggesting. Then actions. What kind of actions? The actions to invoke the Kanya are playful, unstructured activities that allows for spontaneity and lightness. Playing with young children, childhood games like hide and seek, which do not require intellectual stimulation or a dash to the finish line, or ideal actions to invoke the Kanya. Right? वो कहते हैं ना कि हर किसी में जो बच्चा है वो जिंदा होता है, तो उसे कैसे जिंदा रखना चाहिए. That's basically. Then she has picked up real life case study, cassette, basically a story of a lady, of a girl, and who is typically not having this Kanya in this case, but she has other powers like Rishika or maybe Apsara. But how she is able to invoke this Kanya power within her, and what kind of affirmations one need to have. For example, Kanya power, the affirmation help to overcome the emotional drain and fears of the Kanya and harness the true Kanya power is, for example, I am good, I am honest, I am truthful, I am joy, I am light, I am full of hope, and there are many. Okay. Likewise, there are practices to gain Apsara power, Rishika power, Ma power, yeah, different kinds of forces we were talking about. Right. One of my favorite powers out of these 6 is basically a warrior power. Yeah, warrior. Though all the powers are very important. Yeah. So warrior power, and warrior power. Nirupama has mentioned about a story of Suzanne. Suzanne happened to be a junior lawyer, and unfortunately, when she joins a firm, her senior lawyer, who happens to be a man who happens to be a very lusty person, and she's not able to face this because she is a typical Kanya girl. Yes, very sincere, very obedient, very so-called good girl, right? So that power is more dominant. Kanya power is more dominant. But then how to overcome that? So one fine day she confides with her friend and to gather that courage, basically the action, and she's able to put it across very straight to that person. So there are different kinds of affirmation when it comes to invoking the Veera power. That's basically, I am winner, I am brave and courageous, I will overcome, I am strong and powerful, I will achieve my goals. So basically Veera power is about setting a proper well-defined goal, isn't it? And making that action plan of action, and then chasing that. So it needs a lot of courage, and when it comes to that, you need to have that physical fitness, emotional fitness, intellectual fitness as well. So if you ask me, power is not always that that you are having 6 packs and well-toned body and that muscle power. No, power is not always that. Power is also peace. Many times power is to sit back, observe holistically and let go. Power is also to remain cool, calm, composed. Power is peace, to be at peace, so so that nothing can distract you, disturb you, and divide you. That's what power is. And this is quite congruent to one of my gurus, Jiddu Krishnamurti, who says there is an energy beyond whatever we can think, whatever we can feel. This so-called physical energy, this kinetic energy, as we understand in terms of science also, potential energy. So Jiddu Krishnamurti goes beyond all those things, and they say, he says, in knowing that, in knowingness, in observation, in very observation, which doesn't get identified with anything, right? That's the pure energy, and we need to get rooted into that energy so that we don't leak energy. The moment we get conditioned, the moment when we get attached to something, the moment when we get identified with that, we start losing, we start leaking that energy, right? That doesn't mean that you should starve and you should not take care of your body. You should not eat food, and you should get you should overdo things and get exhausted. Definitely, you need to have proper diet. You need to take proper rest, and so on and so forth. It's fine, but those who are experienced, when they go through the most dreadful situations in their life, they think that this is the end of life. They don't have even an iota of energy left, and when they are holistically observing, and they are at that great peace and that bliss, they connect with that divine energy, right? So that energy, if you ask me, out of my self-experience, is that which is always mightier, larger, powerful than whatever you can think, you can feel, you can see, you can touch, you can know. That energy is beyond all those things. That's your true nature. That's your energy. So we have a choice. It's like matter, energy, matter. It's in flux. It's always happening together, right? So the moment when you observe the observer, when you're into that pure observation without any expectations, without any image, you're that energy, and then you can recharge your body also, your mind also, and your heart also. So that's basically the being home. That's an energy. That's power. Yeah. So power is many times, but if you see the power of a warrior, you need to see the power of a Buddha also, because Buddha, when he is at that serenity, that meditation, that's a great power indeed, isn't it? Yeah. The power is not always attacking, but the power is also forgiving. The power is being all inclusive, and that power is very different power. Yeah. So thank you very much. Wish you again very happy Navratri, and let us invoke that energy. I learn when it comes to feminine energy to be all these 6 different energies, and how we can understand, so that we can connect with our people, with the women in our family, be it as a friend, be it as a wife, be it as a mother, be it as a sister, be it as a daughter. We can easily connect, we can easily understand what they go through. And so ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, especially all the women, all the girls, this book is must, if you ask me. Definitely you are going to learn a lot. So let's go explore and co-evolve with Nirupama Subramaniam's Powerful. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.